University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Last time we saw St John's College, Cambridge win the first of the two playoffs between four teams who lost their first-round matches but did so with scores high enough to qualify for another chance to stay in the contest. Now there's only one place left in the second round and it'll go to whichever team wins tonight. King's College, Cambridge held the lead for most of their first-round match, only to see their opponents, Edinburgh University, snatch victory from them by a mere 10 points in the final moments. Knowing about English battlefields and the Mona Lisa's eyebrows helped towards a score of 180. Let's see what sort of form they're on tonight.
Hello, I'm Thomas Hooper, originally from Watford in Hertfordshire, and I'm reading for a PhD in classics.
Hi, I'm James Archer, I'm from Rochester in Kent, and I'm studying social and political sciences.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Katrina Gold, I'm from London and I'm doing a PhD in developmental biology.
Hi, I'm Matthew Wallen, I'm from York and I'm reading French and Italian.
Surrey University had a similar experience against the University of Warwick in round one, leading very convincingly until the halfway mark, after which they seemed rather to nod off. At the gong, they had a score of 170, only 10 points behind their opponents tonight. Let's see if they can remain alert for the full 30 minutes on this occasion.
Hello, I'm Matthew Buchanan, I'm from Merstham in Surrey and I'm studying music.
Hello, I'm Aaron Borg, I'm from Sutton, Surrey and I'm studying biochemistry.
And their captain.
Hello, I'm Martin Bignold, originally from Towcester in Northamptonshire, and I'm reading for a doctorate in clinical psychology.
Hello, I'm Richard Oddie from Ashton in Surrey, and I'm studying politics.
Too boring to recite the rules. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. Sir Kingsley Wood, Chancellor of the Exchequer from 1940 to 43, died on the day of the announcement of which tax innovation which he had pioneered. Usually referred to by four initials, it means the deduction of income.
King's Hooper.
Pay as you earn.
PAYE is correct. Your bonuses, Kings, are on an art form. Which art form did the German philosopher Friedrich von Schelling describe in 1809 as frozen music?
Poetry?
No, it's architecture. Which art critic and writer on architecture said in 1854, no person who is not a great sculptor or painter can be an architect. If he is not a sculptor or painter, he can only be a builder.
Don't know.
That was John Ruskin. And finally, Ghastly Good Taste, or a depressing story of the rise and fall of English architecture, published in 1933, is a prose work by which poet whose first book of verse, Mount Zion, appeared 2 years earlier?
Larkin?
No, it's John Betjeman. Another starter question. What five-letter word is this? In colloquial usage, when preceded by the words in a, it indicates a perturbed mental condition. More formally, it denotes an organised political community under one
King's Archer.
State.
State is right, yes. Kings, your bonuses are about food in the ancient world. In his History of Western Philosophy, Bertrand Russell mocked which Greek mathematician and philosopher for his belief in the sinfulness of eating beans?
Pythagoras.
Correct. It is said that four of ancient Rome's most distinguished families derived their surnames from legumes, including Lentulus, named after the lentil, Piso after the pea, and Fabius after which type of bean?
Broad beans.
It is the broad bean or fava bean. Finally, the chickpea gave its name to which Roman family, one of whom became one of the city's greatest orators?
Cicero?
Correct. 10 points for this starter question. The name of which range of hills in the north of England is not recorded before the 18th century?
King's Wallen.
The Pennines.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on the Nobel Prize in Literature. In each case, I'm going to give you a summary of a citation as it appears on the Nobel website. I want you to name the laureate to whom it refers. In 1997, of which Italian writer was it said that he emulates the jesters of the Middle Ages in scourging authority and upholding the dignity of the downtrodden?
Dario Fo?
Correct. Which recent winner was called that epicist of the female experience who, with scepticism, fire and visionary power, has subjected a divided civilization to scrutiny?
Doris Lessing.
Correct. And finally, who's the recent winner who, in the quest for the melancholic soul of his native city, has discovered new symbols for the clash and interlacing of cultures?
Don't know.
That's Orhan Pamuk, the Turkish writer. 10 points for this. Which instrument derives its name from that of an 18th century Italian physicist and physician? It detects, compares or measures small electric currents on the principle that a current through a conductor creates a magnetic field which reacts with a magnet to give it...
Surrey Bignold.
Galvanometer.
Correct. That gets you off the mark, Surrey. And your bonuses are about the standard 18-group representation of the periodic table. Firstly, for 5 points, the lines from chromium to tungsten, iron to osmium, and molybdenum to ruthenium together form the symbol of which other element?
Well, it could only be hydrogen, couldn't it? Because it's like shaped like an H. Yeah. Hydrogen.
Correct. If the top of the periodic table is north and each cell of the table is an exact square, the line xenon, bromine, sulfur runs in which compass direction?
Heading west.
Yeah.
West.
No, it's northwest. If the periodic table were a giant chessboard, going from potassium to krypton and from oxygen to mercury would be moves that could only be made by which piece?
Must be a rook, because everything else is diagonal. Yeah. A knight.
No, it's a queen. It's the moves of the castle and the bishop. 10 points for this. What single word, an adjective, refers to the hours in the title of a novel of a Humphrey Bogart film of 1955, The Remedies of a novel of 1871 by Thomas Hardy, a cowhand in a D.C. Thompson comic from 1937?
Surrey Bignold.
Desperate.
Yes. Your bonuses are on diminutive fictional characters, Surrey. Which eponymous character of a 1989 novel by John Irving has a diminutive stature and a vocal condition which gives the impression he's always shouting?
Is that rabbit? Did he want rabbit? Is that rabbit?
No, it's Owen Meany. In the 1995 novel by David Madsen, the crippled dwarf Giuseppe Madonnelli becomes the confidant of Pope Leo X and is a follower of which belief system?
Any ideas? Buddhism.
No, it's Gnosticism. In which German novel of 1959 does the protagonist retain the stature of a child and possess a scream that can shatter glass?
Don't know.
That's the Tin Drum. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a butterfly often found in Britain. 10 points if you can give me its common name.
King's Archer.
Red Admiral.
Yes, it is. Your bonuses are 3 more butterflies found within Great Britain, 5 points in each case if you can give me their common name. Firstly, for 5.
A swallow.
No, that's a peacock. Secondly, this woodland butterfly often found in the south of England.
Tiger.
No, that's a purple emperor. And finally, this migrating butterfly.
Monarch. Monarch.
No, that's a painted lady. 10 points for this. He does not merely cut plays, he disembowels them, is a judgment passed by George Bernard Shaw on which English stage actor, noted for his cavalier attitude to original texts, and the first member of his profession to be knighted.
Surrey Bignold.
Henry Irving.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on European history, Surrey. In which European capital was a congress convened in the autumn of 1814 to reorder Europe following the downfall of Napoleon I?
Vienna.
Correct. The Congress of Troppau was called in 1820 to discuss means of suppressing a popular revolt against Bourbon rule in which Italian state?
Sardinia.
No, it's the Two Sicilies. The Congress of Verona in 1822 delegated France to intervene militarily in which country to restore the absolute rule of King Ferdinand VII? Let's have an answer.
Spain.
Correct. 10 points for this. The Queen Consort of William IV, the 18th century Home Secretary Thomas Townshend, and Queen Victoria's first Prime Minister all give their names to major cities in which...
Surrey Oddie.
Australia.
Correct. Get these bonuses, you'll take the lead. They're on palindromes. In each case, give the palindromic word that corresponds to the following definition. First, for 5 points, a small child or a dram of liquor.
It's only a word that means the same forwards as backwards. Oh, tot.
Correct. Second, a doctrine, dogma or principle held by a group or person.
Tenet.
Correct. And finally, a joke or hoax and a means of preventing speech or free expression.
Gag.
Gag is right. You take the lead. 10 points for this starter question. Published in 2007, Geoffrey Wheatcroft's book, subtitled Tony Blair's Disastrous Premiership, has what main title? Derived from an opening comment caught by a public microphone when George W. Bush met Blair.
King's Hooper.
Hey, Blair.
No, you lose 5 points at the 2006 summit.
Surrey Oddie.
Yo, Blair.
Yo, Blair is what he said, yeah. Your bonuses are on Buddhist temples, Surrey, built on the site of the Tak Sang Cave. The Tiger's Nest Monastery is a destination for Buddhist pilgrims in which country? Let's have it.
Nepal.
That's Bhutan. On which island is the 9th century Buddhist monument and pilgrimage centre of Borobudur?
Sri Lanka.
That's Java. Built in the 7th century, the golden roofed Jokang Temple is in which Asian city?
Is that in Amritsar? That's a Sikh temple. Amritsar.
No, it's Lhasa. 10 points for this. Caused by the scattering of sunlight by dust particles in interplanetary space. What is the name of the faint, luminous glow in the sky that can be observed on the horizon?
Surrey Bignold.
Gascanus.
I'm afraid you lose 5 points. On the horizon, either before sunrise or after sunset on a moonless night. One of you want to take a guess?
King's Archer.
Twilight.
No, zodiacal light. 10 points for this. What two-word term was coined by T.S. Eliot in 1919 to denote the formula that must be found by a playwright for the complete expression of a particular emotion, achieved by Shakespeare in the sleepwalking scene in Macbeth, but lacking, according to Eliot, in Hamlet? It's the objective correlative. 10 points for this. In Roman history, what was the family name of the brothers Tiberius Sempronius and...
King's Hooper.
Gracchus.
The Gracchi is correct, yes. Your bonuses now are on scientific terms. Get them, you'll retake the lead. In mathematics, what name is given to a series of the form sigma ANX to the power n?
Don't know.
That's a power series. What is the foot-pound-second unit of power, one of which is equivalent to 745.7 watts? Come on.
Don't know.
It's horsepower. In the UK, the power frequency, which is the frequency of the AC supply mains, is how many hertz?
240. 50.
50 is correct, yes. Level pegging. 10 points for this. A consistent critic of US foreign policy in such books as Failed states the abuse of power and the assault.
King's Hooper.
Noam Chomsky.
Correct. Your bonuses are on Sport, Kings. Riding Through the Storm is an account of which former England footballer's 2005 charity bike ride over the complete Tour de France course as an aid to his recovery from leukemia.
Paul Gascoigne.
I don't think so. Jeff Thomas. Breaking Back, How I Lost Everything and Won Back My Life was written by which American tennis player who in 2004 broke his neck just weeks before the death of his father?
James Blake.
Correct. Mark Law's book, The Pyjama Game, is subtitled A Journey into which sport? Come on.
Karate.
No, it's judo. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear a well-known piece of popular music. 10 points if you can identify the title and the performer.
Now I've heard there was
Surrey Buchanan.
Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah.
Correct. So for your bonus questions, you're going to hear 3 covers of Cohen's song Alleluia, all by North American artists. 5 points for each singer you can name. Firstly, for 5, this 1994 version.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord.
Jeff Buckley.
Correct. Secondly, this 2007 version.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord David played to please the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you?
David Martin.
Well, it goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, my 4 and
John Bon Jovi.
Correct. And finally, this version from 2001.
heard there was a secret chord that David played and it
Rufus
pleased
Wainwright.
Correct. Well done. Another starter question. Often performed to relieve pressure on a nerve, a laminectomy, also known as a rachiotomy, is a surgical procedure to remove the rear part of one or more of what part of the human anatomy?
King's Gold.
The vertebral column.
Vertebrae is correct. Yes, I'll accept that. Your bonuses now are on a shared prefix. Mimicry is a botanical term for seed dispersal by which animals who use an appendage to the seed containing oils as food?
See.
Come on.
Bees.
No, it's ants. In the Iliad, which warrior leads the Myrmidons, a warlike people inhabiting ancient Thessaly, to the siege of Troy?
Achilles.
Correct. Typically occurring in granite and similar igneous rocks, myrmicite is an intergrowth of microscopic worm-like forms of which common mineral in plagioclase feldspar? Come on, it's an
Iron.
answer. No, it's quartz. 10 points for this. Encomium Moriae, the original Latin title of The Praise of Folly, the satire written by the Dutch humanist Erasmus in 1509, is said to be a pun on the name of which Englishman to whom it was dedicated and...
King's Hooper.
Sir Thomas More.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on divided cities. The Green Line was established in 1964 as a demilitarised zone to keep apart the ethnic communities of which city?
Nominate Hooper.
Nicosia.
Correct. The River Ibar divides communities in Mitrovica, a city in the north of which country recognised as independent by Britain and France in February 2008?
It's Montenegro.
Montenegro.
No, it's Kosovo. Established at the end of 1969, Cooper Way is a name given to the wall, a so-called peace line, dividing which city?
Belfast.
Correct. 10 points for this. The monarch of mountains, they crowned him long ago on a throne of rocks in a robe of clouds with a diadem of snow. These words by Byron describe which alpine peak over 4,800 metres high?
Surrey Bignold.
Mont Blanc.
Correct. Your bonuses now, which will put you on level pegging if you get them, are on a concept in science and literature. In psychoanalysis, what name is given to the process whereby energy derived from an instinctive desire, such as the sexual or aggressive, is channeled into more socially acceptable behaviour?
Yeah, this is really embarrassing because I should know this. Libido.
No, it's sublimation. In physical chemistry, the process of sublimation in which a solid is transformed into a vapour without going through the liquid phase can be used to purify which halogen?
Iodine.
Correct. In 18th century Romanticism, for example, in the title of an influential work of 1757 by Edmund Burke, which quality was the antithesis of the transforming power of the sublime?
Is it not the ridiculous? Is it sublime?
Come on.
The inane.
No, it's the beautiful. 10 points for this. In 1291, Edward I of England was the arbitrator of the so-called Great Cause, deciding between the rival claimants who included Floris V, Count of Holland, Eric II of Norway, John Comyn, Lord of Badenoch, and Edward himself to the throne of...
King's Wallen.
Scotland.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on a title, Kings. Connoting overweening authority, what term for a foreign autocrat was adopted in the UK in the 1990s for overseers of government policy on social problems like homelessness and drugs?
Tsar.
Correct. Which European country finally gained its formal independence from Turkey in 1908 and from then until 1946 was ruled by kings who styled themselves Tsars?
Armenia.
No, it's Bulgaria. The prize money for which horse race run at Newmarket every autumn was put up by the eldest son of Tsar Nicholas I in 1839 and named after his title?
Don't know.
The Cesarevich. 10 points for this. It's a picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see a painting. If you can identify the fairy tale it depicts, you can get 10 points.
Surrey Buchanan.
Sleeping Beauty.
It is the Sleeping Beauty, yes. Get the bonuses, you'll be back on level pegging. There are a further 3 depictions of fairy tale characters. For 5 points, I simply want you to identify the artist. Firstly, for 5, this painting of Cinderella.
Degas.
No, that's Aubrey Beardsley. Secondly, for 5, the artist of this illustration of Snow White. Let's have an answer, please.
We don't know.
That's Arthur Rackham. And finally, who painted this depiction of Red Riding Hood?
Is that Millet?
It is John Everett Millais. 10 points for this. Deriving from the Greek for arrow, what 5-letter word now means poison, the meaning having shifted as a result of the...
Surrey Buchanan.
Venom.
No, you lose 5 points. As a result of the ancient practice of smearing arrows with poison before shooting.
King's Archer.
Toxin.
Toxin is correct. Your bonuses are on rivers, Kings. The city of Aberdeen stands on which river that rises at a height of 4,000 feet in the Cairngorms?
Spey.
No, it's the River Dee. Another river called the Dee issues from a loch of the same name in which stewartry of Scotland, now a part with Dumfriesshire and Wigtonshire of the region of Dumfries and Galloway?
No, don't know.
That's in Cucubrishire. And finally, rising in Snowdonia, a further River Dee flows through which English city shortly before reaching the sea?
Chester.
Correct. 5 minutes to go, 10 points for this. What 5-letter word denotes both the dark centre of a sunspot and the completely dark portion of the shadow cast by the Earth, Moon or other body?
Surrey Bignold.
Umbra.
Umbra is right. Your bonuses now are on equestrian statues. Which legendary figure is depicted on horseback in a statue under a large canopy in Broadgate in Coventry city centre?
That's not on horseback.
Let's have an answer.
Godiva.
It is Lady Godiva. Which British king is depicted on horseback in a bronze statue in Trafalgar Square commissioned by him in 1829?
George IV.
George IV is right. A large equestrian statue of the Duke of Wellington formerly stood on top of the arch at Hyde Park Corner, opposite which house the Duke's resident, which was also known as Number 1 London?
Aspley House.
It's Apsley House, I'll accept that. 10 points for this. Which work by Steph Penny was the overall winner of the 2006 Costa Book of the Year Award and is a detective story set in Canada in the 1860s?
King's Gold.
The interpretation of murder.
No. Anyone want to buzz from Surrey? It's The Tenderness of Wolves. 10 points for this. Having the responsibility of conducting the 10-yearly census and providing information used by the government to make decisions about society and the economy, what is the ONS?
King's Hooper.
Office for National Statistics.
Correct. Your bonuses are on fictional artists. For each of the following, I'll give you the name of a fictional artist. I want the name of the author who created them. Firstly, Nat Tate in a work of 1998.
Kingsley Amis.
No, it's William Boyd. Secondly, Lily Briscoe in a novel of 1927.
Even more.
No, that was Virginia Woolf into The Lighthouse. And finally, Basil Hallward in a novel of 1890.
Oscar Wilde.
It was in The Picture of Dorian Gray. 10 points for this. What is to be done? The State and Revolution and Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism, are among the works of which...
King's Hooper.
Lenin.
Lenin is correct. Your bonus is now... Coming up, firstly for 5, what term is used for the speed required for an object to travel in a parabolic orbit around a larger body, and thus is the minimum speed required to overcome the larger body's gravitational attraction?
Escape velocity.
Correct. Which variety of astronomical object is so massive that its escape velocity is greater than the speed of light?
Black hole.
Correct. You Shall Know Our Velocity is a novel by which American writer, author of the biographical A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius?
David Eggers.
Dave Eggers is correct. 2 minutes to go. 10 points for this. St Martin, whose feast day falls on November the 11th, is associated with which city on the River Loire, of which he was bishop in the 4th?
King's Wallen.
Tours.
Tours is correct. Your bonuses now are on a country. The Gulf of Sidra is a broad inlet of the Mediterranean on the coast of which African country? Come on.
Tunisia.
No, it's Libya. Which port is the commercial centre of eastern Libya and the country's second largest city after Tripoli? No, it's Benghazi. Libya is bordered to the south by Niger and which other country with whom a peace agreement was signed in 1994 concerning the Awuzu Strip, which Libya had seized in 1973?
Chad.
Chad is correct. 1 minute to go, 10 points for this. Which four-word concept was popularised by the psychologist Stanley Milgram after using the American Postal Service to test the small world theory that the world is more interconnected than it seems?
King's
6
Archer.
degrees of separation.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on ploughman poets. Helpstone in Northamptonshire was the home of which 19th century poet who worked as a hedge setter and day labourer before being admitted to an asylum in 1837? Come on, let's have it, please.
No, don't know.
It's John Clare. Illustrated with engravings by Thomas Buick, The Farmer's Boy is a work by which agricultural labourer born in Suffolk in 1766? Let's have it, please.
No.
Robert Bloomfield. A heaven-taught ploughman was one description of which poet, born 1759, who farmed in the parish of Mauchline in Ayrshire?
Burns.
Correct. 10 points for this. Broadleaf is the title of the magazine published by which conservation charity founded in 1972? I'll tell you, it's the Woodland Trust. 10 points for this. The artist who painted the ball at La Moulin de la Galette... And at the gong, Surrey University have 150, King's College, Cambridge have 225. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to say goodbye to you, Surrey, but you were on stonking form in the first half anyway, and you faded a bit towards the end. Very impressive performance from you again, Kings. We shall look forward to seeing you again soon. I hope you can join us next time. But until then, it's goodbye from Surrey University.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from King's College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Valentine Warner's Bringing Home the Catch next here on BBC Two. The best in seasonal seafood is what to eat now. Over on BBC 4, patience and lateral thinking are as vital as general knowledge. Victoria Corrin presents quiz show Only Connect.